Hi, welcome to Hangout on Air with Creatively Unsettled. Creatively Unsettled is a platform for ideas, insights, and storytelling for new age social entrepreneurship. And today we are joined by Dr. V. Premnath, Principal Scientist at National Chemical Laboratory, Pune, Head of NCL Innovations, and Director at Venture Center, Pune. Hello, Dr. Premnath.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Nidhi. Good to be with you.
How are you?
Good, thanks. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah. Dr. Premnath, I'll just begin by asking you that what does social entrepreneurship mean at Venture Center?
Venture Center is actually a incubator which is focused on inventive startups. And for us, when we talk about social entrepreneurship, social enterprises are in no way different than commercial enterprises, except that they focus on themes of social relevance and leverage goodwill, for scalability and sustainability. Otherwise, they still have to have models for sustainability and scalability. So we look typically at companies which can build their social enterprises on their own strength as for-profit companies. That's what for us is a social enterprise.
So, what are the different programs and avenues that you have at Venture Center to help these budding entrepreneurs, to shape up their ideas into for-profit social enterprises?
We have tried to build an ecosystem that is very conducive for inventive startups. We have a variety of things out here. Besides, of course, the fact that we have physical facilities, including labs, offices, and so on and so forth. We have scientific facilities to support them, especially those which are inventive startups. We, for example, have a tinkering lab, a Prayashala, which is like a prototyping workshop, a variety of different labs to support these startups. We also run a very active mentoring and advisory program. We also have some seed funding available at Venture Center. And besides that, we operate several grant funding schemes for the government and also by leveraging some CSR funding. Besides that, of course, there are many other things like an intellectual property center, property facilitation center, a lot of events for training, inspiration, information, and so on. Now, all this ecosystem is as relevant to social enterprises as it is for commercial enterprises. But that said, there are a few things we do specifically for social enterprises. One of them is something called a social innovation immersion program. That is something which is like a fellowship program which allows people interested, early stage budding entrepreneurs interested in social innovation to start looking at the real problems on site via an immersion activity, identify the needs, and then go after solving some of those in a more a well-informed way. So the first round we ran was on maternal and child health. The second round we have recently launched is on wash, water, sanitation, hygiene. That is something which is one of our important programs for young budding entrepreneurs. We also run something called an Include program, which is our social entrepreneurship advising and mentoring activity. Besides this, several of our other programs which are open to all categories of startups have special provisions for social enterprises, okay, including the EIR, Prayas programs, which one of them is a fellowship program, the other is a grant program for prototyping. All of them have certain preferences for social entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Dr. Premnath, when you talk about grants and impact incubators coming to Venture Center to fund these social entrepreneurship ideas, so what is it that they look for in these ideas? What is it that they look for in these entrepreneurs, and how do they decide that okay, this person is eligible for a funding or for a grant from us?
We typically have to look at several aspects of the idea itself, but there are different levels at which we evaluate these proposals. One, of course, a very important factor is are the rules governing some of these grant schemes and programs. Okay, so if, for example, the grant scheme has some connection to the Ministry